Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and I got you guys another deck for the month of August. So, this is one that one of my friends has sort of been requesting. He wanted to see Magician Girls, so I'm assuming you guys wanted to see it too, or else you guys wouldn't have stopped by today. So, let me give you guys a deck list. I'm going to give you guys an extra deck. My extra deck actually has an optional slot. I picked 3 choices. You guys play what you think is right. Or, just what you have, maybe. Getting rid of this stubborn head cold. And let's get you guys into that deck. So, let's go. So, first up, we're going to be playing the Magician Girls from I believe it was the Dark Side of Dimensions movie. So, we're going to use 2 copies of Apple Magician Girl. 2 copies Berry Magician Girl. 3 copies Chocolate. She's got one of the better effects in this deck. 2 copies Dark Magician Girl, because, she's still a Magician Girl, guys. 2 copies Kiwi Magician Girl, technically like our pseudo-boss. And 2 copies Lemon Magician Girl. Now, I know you guys already see the next card. That's fine. That's part of the engine stuff. But this is like the core of the Magician Girls. Just about everything's run at 2, with the exception of Chocolate. Again, I think the effect just warrants another card. So we are going to use a single copy of Dark Magician of Chaos, aka D-Mock. He's just really good, fan favorite, and he's got a nice little friendly effect for us later. We are going to use 2 copies of the Jester Confit to kind of keep our spellcaster theme going, as well as playing him as an extension. We will have 2 copies of the Perform Age Trick Clown. Again, this guy's going to do some cool effects for us. 2 copies Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. And 3 copies Summoner Monk, because Summoner Monk's actually really good for this. And just real quick, we're also going to use 2 copies of the Tricky. Just another quick spellcaster that kind of works as an extension. Moving over to the spells, a lot of this is actually common sense stuff. We got the Called by the Grave at 1. We got the Double or Nothing at 1. We've got the Harpy's Feather Duster at 1. The Instant Fusion at 1. Surprisingly, we're running Magical Dimension. Now, this is a crazy cool card, and I'll get to this during the effects portion, but we did want to maximize this one to 3. It gives us a little more playability while actually confusing a lot of people. Not a lot of people remember this spell card, so... we're also going to be using 1 Monster Reborn, 1 for 1 Raigeki, 2 copies Spellbook of Knowledge, 2 copies Spellbook of Secrets, and we're going to round it to 40 with a single Upstart Goblin. No traps today, guys, no traps, because, traps are seemingly no longer played. So it goes. So with the extra deck, like I said, I got a 14 card build here for you. I got 3 more cards off to the side. I'll get to those here in a second. Real quick, we're going to want our 2 instant fusion targets, Thousand Eyes Restrict and Millennium Eyes Restrict. Obviously for different situations, but both just as good as the other. Utopia and double, or else the 1/ doesn't work, and the Double or Nothing is kind of a dead point. Those are really... some of our XZs. Now, I'm not too sure what is on the back of my sleeves today, but I surely do apologize for that. You guys actually can't even see that. Huh. Crazy. I am going to be using the rest of this all links. We are going to use 1 copy Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. We are going to use a single copy Artemis the Magistus Moon Maiden. We are going to use Boral Sword. We are going to use Crowley the First Prophecyr. IP Masquerena, all 3 Nightmare, Cerberus, Phoenix, and of course Unicorn. We are going to run the single Link Karibo and of course a single Relinquished Anima. And before I let those of you go who just came for the deck list, pick one of these 3 cards to be your number 15 slot. If you feel like back row is going to be an issue, you can do worse than Tornado Dragon. Abyss Dweller is always a great tech because it does help limit your opponent's graveyard negations. And Exciton Knight is one of my favorite cards whenever I feel like I've been backed into a corner and helps me rally. Personally, when I built this deck, it was Abyss Dweller for myself. But I saw these 2. They were already sleeved up. They were in the same stack. So I said, I'll show them all off and we will decide what to do later. So I'm going to toss these 2 off to the side. And I'm actually going to place this one in the extra deck now. But that is my 40 card main for Magician Girls. That is my 15 card extra deck. And seriously, guys, thanks for stopping by. If you were just here for the deck list, thanks for watching. If you haven't already and this did help you, consider subscribing to the channel. Let your friends know about it. Let your teammates know about it. Let people at your local card shops know about it. Just sort of spread the word a little bit. And we'll see you guys on the next video. You guys have a great day. Everybody else, let's talk about these card effects real quick. Let's start with the main deck. So back into the Magician Girls. These girls are actually quite tricky because they do kind of two things at once. And it's usually the secondary effect that is more technical. So with Apple Magician Girl, once per turn, if this card is selected as selected for an attack, you can target a level 5 or lower spellcaster in your hand. Then, special summon that level 4 or level 5 or lower spellcaster from your hand. Then change the attack target to it, and if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half of its current value. If this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can target up to 3 other Magician Girl monsters with different names in the graveyard and add them all back to your hand. So it does sort of combo off and does pass the buck in battle, which is awesome. And again, it's to another spellcaster. Unfortunately, it's level 5 or lower, but this is Kiwi Magician and the rest of my Magician Girls. You will not be able to special summon the Summoner Monk because it just cannot be special summoned. No, never mind. Just can't be tributed. So the next one would be our Berry Magician Girl, and if this is normal summoned, you can add 1 Magician Girl from the deck to your hand, which is a pretty good tutor. Once per turn, either player's turn, when the opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card or targets this card with an attack, you may change this card's battle position, and if you do, special summon a Magician Girl from your deck, except Berry Magician Girl. Now, what that's going to do is obviously allow you to create another character. However, this one isn't going to pass the buck. It's just going to be able to, you can summon it in attack mode when it gets attacked, drop her to defense mode, and she'll save you the damage should they not be able to inflict piercing. Next up is Chocolate Magician Girl with, again, what I think is the best effect. Once per turn, you can discard a spellcaster from your hand to draw 1 card. Perfect. Once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you target a spellcaster in your graveyard except Chocolate. Special summon it, change the attack target to it, and if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half of its current. Now, they are going to keep saying current, so if the monster does get bounced between 2 attacks, it's technically quartered because it'll be half and then half again. So this is very good. Additionally, this is a 4-star. This is one of the ways that you're going to make things. You get this off Summoner Monk very easily. And this is part of how we can actually go into the Utopia play with an extra card. Is literally Summoner Monk, discard card, play Chocolate. Chocolate can discard card, get you another card. And then you can go into your play. Again, that's why we maximized her to 3, which is fine. You guys all know Dark Magician Girl. Never change the effect. Gains 300 for every Dark Magician or Magician of Black Chaos in all graveyards. We're not playing any. If the opponent plays some, cool. If not, whatever, it's Magician Girl. She's here for the name this time. And then we've got Kiwi. During either player's turn, you can discard this card. Magician Girls that you currently control gain 300 attack and defense for every Magician Girl monster with a different name on the field and the graveyards until the end of this turn. Now, there are 6 different Magician Girls, which means this is a possible gain of 1,800. So just under 2K. If you need the quick cheat sheet, it's maximum of her own attack. But she does gain it for all of them. So it's kind of like Honest Plus or Kalut the Moonshadow Plus, because we do get to boost all of them and for the turn. Until the end of this turn. Okay. Spellcaster type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target them with card effects. So very cool if we do end up boarding it. Not end of the world if we don't. Still a good hand trap. We do use Lemon, again, 2. This will be the last of our Magician Girls. Once per turn, you contribute a Magician Girl monster except Lemon. Add 1 spellcaster type from deck to hand. Again, this will allow us to tutor anybody in our deck for the most part, except, of course, Lemon. If this once per turn, if this is targeted for an attack, you can special summon a spellcaster from your hand with its effects, if any, negated, then change the attack target to it. And if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half of its current value. So, how do we maximize that? You get a Big Daddy in the deck. You get a Big Daddy with his monster effect negated, which means, yes, he's not going to be banishing cards as he kills them. He's not going to net you a spell card, but whatever was attacking her is now attacking him and is attacking him with half of its value. So in order to even match evenly, that card would have had to be 5,600 points for them both to get KO'd at the same time, which means you'd need something that just doesn't exist in the game right now. Are there cards stronger than that? Yeah. Can you make cards stronger than that? Yeah. Or is it usual? No. So again, DMOC will do that for you. Again, if you play DMOC naturally, you will get the effects. The effects are, during the end phase, if this card is normal or special summoned during that turn, target one spell card in the graveyard and add it to your hand. Again, that's during the end phase. This is the errata. This isn't the original. I just read that. You can only use this effect once per turn, and then if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle after damage calculation, banish it face up. And then if this face-up card would leave the field, banish it instead. Again, Lemon's going to give us a little leeway with that because she's going to negate the monster's effects, but we're going to be able to add DMOC from deck to hand and then summon it from hand to field. So very cool, very cool. Jester Confit, I haven't used this guy in a little bit. I'm actually going to use him again later this week. Awesome. Little one-star spellcaster. You guys saw the extra deck. Obviously, he's Link Kuriboh, and he's Relinquished Anima Fodder. Additionally, you can only control one of these per turn. You can special summon this card from your hand in attack position. If it was played this way during the opponent's next end phase, target a face-up monster they control, return both this and that to the hand. Chances are I'm not leaving him around long enough for that. He wouldn't make it through an opponent's turn anyway. So he is Link fodder. He is definitely here for the Links. We do have the double Trick Clown. And again, as you guys know, if this card is sent to the graveyard, whether it's from hand, deck, field, or wherever, you can target a Perform Mage monster that's currently in the graveyard, special summon it with its attack and defense becoming 0, then take 1,000 damage. You can only use this effect once per turn, which is fine, guys. And again, we can just summon him, and we can link off into Artemis and just immediately build him back to the field. And it's one card that immediately equals 2. We could also go into an Xyz, and then we can actually resummon him because even as Xyz material, it doesn't say from field to the graveyard. So even though it's technically in limbo as it's underneath in the stack, you can still send it to the graveyard, at which point you guys can trigger the effect once per turn. So we can create the Utopia double and then still generate him to the field. Fantastic. We got Double Boy Blue, Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. If this card is normal or flipped face up, add one Spellbook spell from deck to hand. This is great. This is going to get you secrets, and secrets is going to go to knowledge. Again, if you already have a knowledge, you can grab the secrets and drop the secrets. There's no rule against that. It is what it is, my friends. 3 Summoner Monks. This cannot be tributed when this card is normal or flip summoned. Change it immediately to defense mode. Once per turn, discard 1 spell card. Special summon a level 4 from your deck. It cannot attack. Level 4, again, is going to get you into the Perform Mage. And additionally, you can get into Chocolate, like I said earlier. So very cool. And then you got the Tricky. And again, another great thing that we can do is we can use the Tricky in combination with the Perform Mage Trick Clown. And even though I'm discarding at this cost, it is still going to work. This just says you can special summon this by discarding a card. That should, in fact, make it a cost. But, you know, it's fun. It's fine. And, yeah, just play it, guys. I mean, I do. It's fun. Called by the Grave, we want to get rid of hand traps a little bit because we don't play them. Double or Nothing is here for the Utopia 1/. Harpy's Feather Duster, destroy the back row. Like I said, Instant Fusion, you got 2 targets. Pick the one that's best for the moment. The triple Magical Dimension. Let's really talk about this now. So this is a good quick play. I forget when this actually came out. It was like a Magician Structure deck, I think. Activate while you control a spellcaster type monster. Tribute a monster that you control and special summon 1 spellcaster from your hand. Then destroy a monster card that's on the field. So, in any other deck, like if we had the ability to take our opponent's monsters, like let's say we were running brain control and stuff in this as well, we would be within our full rights to, as long as we have a spellcaster, designate my own monster as a spellcaster, designate the one I took from you, play this, pop your monster to the discard pile, play another one of my spellcasters, and then get to destroy one of your cards. Or sorry, one of your monster cards. Additionally, this is another good way that we can climb up into DMOC while we have Lemon on the field, because Lemon will be our search for DMOC. And this will allow us to not only board the Dark Magician of Chaos, we'll also be able to get it as a quick play. We can do it on our opponent's turn. We can interrupt a chain. We can interrupt a link climb doing this, because we do get that monster destruction, and during the end of that turn, we'll also get a spell back, which is very useful. And if we do this during the opponent's turn rather than our own, it'll be great, because it'll allow you to press a little more advantage, because then you'll have access to the spell card that you picked up immediately. So again, this is kind of spicy. Is that what you kids say these days when something's real cool, real sneaky? That's my personal tack for this deck. I don't know. The Monster Reborn, just great basic extender. Bring back any monster in the discard pile. 1 for 1. Again, we can special summon Barry. We can special summon Jester Confit. I think those are our 2 level 1s in this deck. Just double check it again. So there was Barry at 1. And Jester Confit at 1. And I stand true. So, 1 for 1, not bad. Plenty of targets. Raigeki, just go ahead, clear your opponent's monster board. Spellbook of Knowledge, send to the graveyard either one spellcaster that you control or a spellbook card from your hand or face up on the field, except Book of Knowledge. And if you do draw 2, you can only activate one of these per turn. The cool move is that you play Boy Blue. Boy Blue grabs you the Spellbook of Secrets. Play the Spellbook of Secrets, which says add a spellbook from the deck to the hand except Secrets, and you can only activate 1 Secrets per turn. So then you grab the Knowledge, and you can just snack off Boy Blue. Again, if you had another Boy Blue in your hand, you could go ahead and use it from your hand, because he's technically a spellbook card because it's in his name. But this is a good little draw engine for you. And then the Upstart Goblin, just to round the deck out to 40. Draw a card, give your opponent 1,000 life points. Not a big deal. We're going to kind of skip around in the extra deck and only kind of go after the ones that we actually need. So by now we should know that Restrict is very much like Called by the Grave. And Thousand Eyes Restrict is just a variable suck-up that also paralyzes monsters on the field. Abyss Dweller attacks by... No, I guess Chocolate was water attribute. Before I stick my foot in my mouth, let me look. Chocolate being water attribute means that it could actually power up Abyss Dweller and all other waters if you keep the chocolate underneath it. Unintentional. I'm here for the quick effect. Attach material from this card. Your opponent cannot activate any card effects in the graveyard this turn. Again, you got the double in the regular Utopia. You play the double. Rip material. Again, if it's Perform Age Trick Clown, just go ahead, cycle them back to the field, take your 1,000. Grab your double or nothing from your deck and immediately play into another Utopia monster. That monster is now doubled, and it cannot attack directly, so this will put Utopia at 5k. Attack, negate your own attack. Since it was negated, activate the double or nothing, give it another attack, and double it over one more time. Now it's 10k during damage calculation. If it's 2k or less on the opposing side, that is OTK. As long as you didn't activate Upstart Goblin. In that instance, they will be left with about 1,000 hit points. So we do have Appaloosa, 2+ monsters, different names, no tokens. And based on the amount of materials that you use, it gets 800 points per and can chain block monster effects. Once per chain, kicking in and losing exactly 800 to negate the activation of an effect. Artemis is just here for messing around with the Perform Mage, because this is a decent Link 1. And again, all we need to do is it generates more monsters and lets us play a Link 2 on one card. We do have the Boral Sword, 3+ effect monsters. Again, Link 4. This is my budget-friendly access code talker. It's going to let us attack over things. Crowley is something we need to talk about. I've never used Crowley here before, and this is one of the things that Artemis will let us get into because it's 2 spellcasters. If this card is link summoned, you can reveal 3 spellbooks with different names from your deck. And your opponent randomly picks one to add to your hand. Shuffle the rest back into your deck. Immediately, guys. We have 3. We run 2 copies each. This is very situational, but if they give us boy blue, technically they gave us all 3. If they give us secrets, it doesn't matter what they gave us. And if we got knowledge, chances are that's what we were after in the first place. So this guy pretty much just gets you to your draw. It gets you your draw too, no matter which card they pick. Kind of goofy. You can only use this effect of Crowley once per turn. Each turn, 1 level 5 or higher spellcaster you normal summon can be summoned without tributing. Again, this is really cool because, again, we can sort of just play Dark Magician Girl and Kiwi Magician Girl for free. Again, it was just kind of a cool tech, and I was excited to see that I could play this. I do play this later this week, too. It's very cool. I do have IP Masquerena and the full triad of Nightmares. Again, this helps me mess with my opponent during their turn, and it's awesome. Link Karibo, of course, because there are like 4 level 1s plus 1 when you go into instant fusion, so there's plenty of fodder for this. And same thing for Anima. They're all level 1s and they're non-tokens, so we can go into Anima as well. It's sort of advanced, but it is what it is. It's very fun. So, guys, that was a bit long. Feel like I drawled on there a bit. But that is the Magician Girls. George, I do hope that you are happy, my friend. You've been asking me to do this for what feels like 5 months. I'm sure it was probably longer, but I hope everybody else enjoyed this as well. And if you did, you know, tell me that you enjoyed it. That's all you got to do. And one more favor. It's the same favor, guys. Just try to have a great day out there, all right? I'll see you guys on the next video. Next video is going to be, let's see. Yeah, Edmund. We got an Edmund deck coming up next. So I will see you guys, and we'll show you that one too. And then all the fun stuff. Have a great week, guys. Have a great day. See you later.